Hi Silem stars, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's video guys, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful vest you can see on the screen. So if you want to see how to make this beautiful vest or waistcoat, definitely keep on watching.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there.
Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the baseline at the top of the paper. And then after that, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches from the edge of the paper. Now this 1.5 inches is going to serve as the button allowance. Remember that this waistcoat or vest is going to have buttons, and so this allowance will serve as the button allowance. Now from the baseline there, I'm just marking the bust point line, which is 12 inches. After marking the bust point, I'm also marking the waistline, which is 17 inches. So the waistline of my client is 17 inches, which is what I just marked now. And then after that, I'm marking the armhole line, which is 9 inches. And then the full length line, which is 23 inches. Okay, so go ahead and mark your bust point, waistline, armhole line, and your full length, which is the hemline. Okay, I've gone ahead now to just label all of the lines so we don't get confused. Now for the neck line, I'm using a regular 3x3 neckline for now. I'm going to modify the neckline later, but for now I'm just using this 3x3 neckline, and I'm just drawing a curve to connect the neck width with the neck depth. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to go ahead now and mark the shoulder divided by 2. Make sure you're marking that shoulder divided by 2 measurements. Make sure you're marking that from that button allowance line, okay, not from the edge of the paper. So I marked the shoulder divided by 2. I marked it on the baseline and on the chest line, and then I connected both points with a straight line, as you can see. Alright, so after that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down from that baseline by 1 inch so we can create our shoulder slope. So just come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect that 1 inch point with the neck width. I'll connect that with a slanted line to create my shoulder slope. Now because this is a vest, the shoulder is not going to be as wide as a regular top. So from the neckline, I'm just marking 4 inches. Okay, if you're making a regular top, then you use your normal shoulder, but for this, the neckline, the shoulder is not going to be as wide as a regular top, like I said. So that's why I marked 4 inches from the neckline. Now from that shoulder slope, I'm just measuring up to the chest line, and then I'm getting the midpoint. Okay, so that's the midpoint right there. Now at that midpoint, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches. Okay, so come in by 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to show you the measurements if you are making for a plus size and if you're making for a regular size. If you're making for a regular size, then you go in by 1.5 inches at that midpoint. Okay, but for my client, she's a plus size, so I'm going to modify that measurement. Now what I did was I marked the bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line. Okay, I marked that, and then I added ½ inch allowance for ease and an extra 1 inch allowance. Okay, now at that point, I'm coming down from the chest line by ½ inch. So just come down from the chest line by ½ inch. Remember, like I said, this is a vest, so all of these modifications are very, very important. So I'm just going to connect those points. Okay, now that new chest line that I created, I'm just going to extend that line. Okay, I came down from the chest line by ½ inch, so I'm just extending that line, and then I'm drawing a curve to connect the new chest line, with the midpoint of the armhole and the new shoulder. So now, like I said, my client is a plus size, so I'm going to add extra ½ inch to that shoulder. Okay, for a regular size, you come in by 1.5 inches, but for a plus size, you come in by 1 inch, which is what I just did right now. Okay, now on the waistline, we're going to come down by 3 inches to create a new waistline. Okay, if we use the normal waistline that we have, the waistline is going to be too high, so we're going to come down by 3 inches to create a new waistline, and then we're going to extend that line. Now those same measurements that I marked on the first chest line, I'm just replicating them on that new chest line. Okay, so the bust divided by 4 ½ inch allowance and the extra 1 inch allowance. I just marked all of that on the new chest line. Now on the waistline, I'm dividing the waist circumference by 4, marking that. I added half inch for ease, and then I also added an extra 1 inch allowance. I actually made it 2 inches allowance, so 1 inch allowance twice, which is 2 inches extra. Okay, just so that it's not too tight. So the same measurements I marked on the first waistline, I'm marking it on the new waistline. Now to create the hem design for the waistcoat, I'm just going out from that button allowance by 2 inches. Okay, and that's what I marked. So this is for a regular size person. Okay, but for my client that is plus size, I'm going to modify that measurement. I've gone ahead now to connect the waistline to the new chest line. Okay, so those measurements, and then I drew a slanted line from the new waistline to that 2 inches. So now for my client that is plus size, I'm going to be using 3.5 inches from that button allowance, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to mark rather, and then connect to the new waistline. Now from the chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and I'm going to mark that point. Okay, and then also from the new waistline, I'm going to come up by half an inch, and then I'm going to draw straight lines at those points to meet the edge of the paper. Okay, and then after that, from the button allowance line, I'm just going to mark 1 inch. Okay, so I'm just marking 1 inch because the actual button allowance should be just 1 inch, not 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to connect those points with a straight line. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to connect that point with the basque hemline. Okay, so just connect it like this to create that basque hemline, and then the other one that's closer to the chest line, I'm going to connect it to the neckline using the curved part of my ruler. This is not a straight line, okay, it's a curved line. So this is the vest. This is how the neckline for the vest is. This is a regular waistcoat or vest, but for my client, she wants the neckline to be a bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that same 3 inches I marked for the neckline. I'm going to mark that on the chest line. Okay, then I'm going to come up at that point by half an inch. Okay, now I'm going to connect that new half an inch point to the neckline, and then connect that same point to that button allowance. So that's what my neckline is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to do is to mark my darts. So I divided my bust span by 2, and then I'm marking that from that button allowance line, and then I'm just connecting that with a straight line. Now at the waistline, I'm going out on both sides by half an inch, and then from the bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Okay, now I'm going to connect that point below the bust point. I'm going to connect that to the waistline. Okay, so just to create the dart, and then I'm going to connect that all the way down to the hem of my vest. Now for the back neckline, I'm actually drafting the front and back on the same pattern paper. For the back neckline, I just came down from the baseline by 1.5 inches, and then I'm just creating the curve of the neckline. Okay, so now for us to cut the back, I'm just going to fold in that button allowance line. So just fold in the entire button allowance line. Okay, and after folding the button allowance line, I'm also going to fold along that new waistline as well. Okay, because the back is not going to have that basque hemline. All right, so I'm just folding along that new waistline as well. Then I'm going to place it on my fabric, and I'm going to cut. For my fabric, I'm using just 1 yard of fabric. You only need 1 yard of fabric for this. If you're on the bigger side, you can use 1.5 yards. I'm using a crepe fabric. Okay, and I'm also going to be using lining as well. So I just placed the pattern on the fabric, unfold, and then I just cut that out. Now for the front piece, I'm just going to unfold all of the parts that I folded on my pattern paper, and now I'm going ahead now to cut off all of the parts that I don't need. I also cut off the back neckline. Okay, take note of that. I cut off the back neckline so that I can use the front neckline to cut my front piece. Okay, So now just place, the pattern paper on your fabric and then just go ahead and cut. I'm also cutting this on fold. However, I'm opening up that fold because the front piece does not need a fold in front. Remember that it has buttons in front. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is to transfer my dart as well. Okay. So just go ahead and transfer your dart. Now for the back piece, I went ahead to cut open the fold of that center back, and I also went in by half an inch towards the bottom part of the center back. Okay, so just trim off about half an inch towards the center back. Now this is going to take out any form of zipper bulging. There's not going to be any zipper at the back, but it's going to make the back fit better. There's not going to be any bulging at the back. And if you eventually put a zipper maybe for something else that you're making, you'll see that there'll be no zipper bulge. So I'm going to go ahead now and transfer my my darts. I'm also going to sew that center back close with half-inch seam allowance. Now for my darts, I'm going to extend it all the way up to the chest line for the back. Okay, so for the back, the dart goes all the way up to the chest line, but for the front it goes up to the bust point. So take note of that. So this is what my piece looks like. I've joined the back pieces together and I've also put in my dart. This is for the fabric. This is the main crepe fabric piece. I also use hairstay to fuse on the fabric piece, only the fabric piece. Now I'm placing the lining and the fabric piece right sides facing. Now I'm going to sew the neckline, I'm going to sew the armhole line as well as the hemline. I'm not going to sew the sides, and I'm also not going to sew the shoulders. Okay, so take note of the parts that we are sewing. Okay, very important. Now for the front piece, these are my fabric pieces. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and trim off the excess I have on that hemline. Okay, so if you have any excess, go ahead and trim it off. Now I'm placing the lining right sides facing with the fabric. So just place the lining right sides facing with the fabric. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew the neckline all the way to the hemline. Okay, I'm not going to sew the armhole line, and I'm also not going to sew the sides. I'm also not going to sew the shoulder as well. Okay, so once I'm done sewing, this is what we have. Now take note, I also fused hairstay on the main fabric piece. Okay, so after sewing, I'm going to go ahead now and just create notches. So I'm going to notch all of the corners so that it's nice and flat, and then I'm going to turn my piece to the right side. Also make sure to use your scissors to just push out any corner that is still stuck inside. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for the other piece as well. I'm also going to go ahead and iron it nice and flat. Now this is my back piece. I'm also going to turn my back piece now to the right side, and I'm also going to iron it nice and flat as well. This is what the piece looks like. Can you see? So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see how we can arrange our pieces. Okay, so that we can join the shoulder of the front piece and the back piece together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the shoulder of the front piece into the shoulder of the back piece. Okay, can you see what I did? I inserted it into the shoulder. Now I'm going to pass my hand through the side. Remember that the side is still open. I'll pass my hand through the side and grab both the shoulder for the front and for the back. Okay, and I'm going to pull it all the way out of that side and then go ahead and sew it with half-inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to do it again so that you can see it clearly. So put in the shoulder of the front into the shoulder of the back. Can you see? And then put your hands through the side. This is the back, the side of the back, mind you. So put your hands through the side of the back and then grab the shoulder of both the front and the back pieces. Grab the shoulder of both pieces and pull it out through that side. Okay, arrange your piece and then go ahead and join those pieces with half-inch seam allowance. If you do it very well, you're going to see that you have a beautifully joined piece that the front and the back are just seamless. Okay, if you do it the right way, this is what you're going to have. Okay, so I'll do the same thing for the other shoulders as well. Okay, now after doing that, the final thing we want to do now is to join the sides. Okay, so when you're joining the sides, you also want to have that seamless look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the fabric pieces together. So the fabric piece of the front and the fabric piece of the back, I'm going to hold them together. I'm not holding the lining piece as well, okay? Just hold only the fabric pieces and then pin them, okay? Pin the fabric pieces, okay? And after pinning the fabric pieces, you will also want to move on to holding the lining pieces. We've pinned the fabric pieces now. We're also going to go ahead and then pin the lining pieces. So can you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm just holding the lining pieces now and then I'm pinning them. Now you're going to go take it to your sewing machine and start from the fabric piece. Sew the fabric piece with 1 inch seam allowance, okay? So go ahead and sew the fabric piece with 1 inch seam allowance. Make sure you're starting your sewing from the fabric piece before you move on to sewing the lining piece, okay? So just watch what I'm doing. Can you see? I'm going to go now ahead now and just sew from the fabric all the way around to the lining. Now you get to a point on that lining that you cannot sew anymore, and that is okay. Okay, make sure that that's space that you don't sew is on the lining and not on the fabric, and that's why it's important that you start your sewing from the fabric. So that part that you did not sew, you're just going to hold up the lining. So just hold only the lining and then top stitch it down. Do the same thing for the other side and you're good to go. The final thing you want to do now is to put in your buttons and your buttonholes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.